Hulka becomes involved in this situation because the 17th Street Blips, which is a mixture of the Bloods and Crips, um, they he thinks that they have broken into Rel's apartment, thinking that it was his apartment, because he had there was some bad blood between him and the Blips, so it's very possible that they were coming after Hulko's apartment, but accidentally broke into Rel's apartment and then took Keanu. Holka is very immersed in the in hip hop culture, but like classic hip hop, and I had to have these cornrows put in. It was among the most painful things I've ever gone through in my life. It really, it's hard to describe unless you've had cornrows. You won't know, but it's, I guess everyone knows what it's like to have their hair pulled. Well, having cornrows put in is like having someone pulling your hair for 2 hours, 2 straight hours, just pulling it till it hurts, and then wrapping them around, and then tying them off in a way that they are pulled permanently. And then you got this little section, and then all of a sudden there's another section they're pulling, and they're doing that for twisting that for like 2 hours. They're being put in. They finally finish, and you're it's like a facelift because everything's pulled back, and it drives you crazy, and it's hard to sleep. It was the worst the worst thing ever. I had the best experience, and I had to fight against the pain, the 100% pain all the time in my head. So that really shows how much fun it was to be on this movie. That even that couldn't bring down the experience. It's just a delight to work with them. When I first was going over there, um, uh, my coworker Kristen Shaw, at the Last Man on Earth, she said you gotta get a hug from Key, and I said okay, and I went over there, and I didn't really understand what she was talking about. And then I said, I guess Kristen said I have to get a hug from you, and then he gave me the most just luscious hug of all. He's just a world class hugger. He's really really good. It's hard to describe. You just got to like put it on your bucket list. It's a it's a really wonderful hug, and the working experience is kind of that hug is very emblematic of the working experience because you feel like you're in their embrace the whole time. Eventually, Hulka gets kidnapped by the Blips, and the next time we see him, he's in the trunk of a car, and they're bringing him out. He thinks he's safe. He's very excited, and then they throw him in the back of this truck where there's a 18-foot python, and he's freaking out. Right, rightly so. The other thing that was terrifying was Peter Atencio, the director. He pulled me aside right before the thing had a very right before we shot the scene. Just gave me one of those. Um, if you are uncomfortable with this in any way, you don't have to do it, and that terrified me because I was like, if there was nothing to worry about, he wouldn't have had to say that. Like this was a very clear sign that he knew that this could be the last time he was talking to me, um, and I I thought it'd be a pretty ass kicking way to go to be killed by a snake on camera. If you're gonna go, that's the way to do it, right? An 18-foot python is enormous. You probably couldn't even lift it up. I don't know how many pounds it is, but it's parts of its body are about that thick, and it's freaking terrifying. So I'm in there, and they, if we didn't have a safe word, then they wouldn't know what part of it. It could just be me flipping out in character, but me flipping out in character and flipping out as myself are very similar. Uh, I scream in the same like girlish way. I loved working with Peter Atencio. He came to The Last Man on Earth, uh, my TV show, and directed one of the episodes of the first season. So we loved him and wanted him to do more, but we heard that he was directing this, so he couldn't. So I was really excited when they called to say that they wanted me to do this part,